Hey, what's going on, guys? So we just had a student actually get a job. So let me go over what happened with this student. So we have a student named Jay Cruz, as you can see, from no experience, and he just landed a job at Google, as you can see here. Let me go ahead and actually show you this real quick, just to show you like what's possible if you actually put in the work and get into tech. So here's his offer letter, as you can see, from Google. He hid the salary, but it was around 6 figures. He's kind of trying to be humble in our group. As you can see, we have multiple other students who also got jobs here. Here's another student named Emmanuel. He got an offer letter. But the point I want to tell you is, let me get this camera ready to go. But the kind of the point of this video is I want to explain to you guys getting into tech with no experience is possible. Okay. Everyone will tell you the tech job market sucks. It's difficult. Do something else. It's impossible to get a job. If you have that mindset, I promise you, you will never get a job. If you have the mindset that you will not get a job, then you're telling yourself that you won't get a job. It's possible. It's 100% possible. But the question is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to ask questions? Are you willing to seek help? Everyone who got into tech wasn't born into tech. You know how people say you were born into money, that's why you have money? People are not born into tech. So anyone who tells you to get into tech, you have to have all these experience and credentials and all this nonsense. That's the lie that you're going to tell yourself that's going to prevent you from getting into tech. And that's the last thing I want people to deal with, is to deal with that doubt and regret that they're going to have eventually because they tell themselves it's impossible. I started out with no experience. Everyone who's in tech started with no experience. You just have to keep knocking on the door. The problem with a lot of people is they're not willing to knock on the door. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of the resume getting denied. They're afraid of having to deal with the anxiety of the interview. They're afraid of making mistakes. This is what I always tell people. I'd rather fail than not try. I'm going to say that one more time. I'd rather fail than not try. And a lot of these students I've been working with, they've made failures. They have failed interviews. They've had multiple times where they apply for a position that they want to get and they ends up getting rejected multiple times. The thing they do differently is they always come back, no matter what. They'll come back. They'll put in the work. No matter what, they will always find a way. They will always find a way. They'll always find a way. They'll always find a way. And when it comes to a lot of people, they're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to deal with the heartache and the pain. I just had a call with a student earlier, and he said he lived in California, and he told himself, I'm willing to relocate anywhere. So he actually relocated to Wyoming for a position. Like, that's how bad he wanted it, right? And the thing is, when it comes to getting to tech, there's positions everywhere. And the thing I love about working in tech is the ability to move your salary up dramatically. The fact that you can go from zero to making 50K to 70K to 80K to 90K, then 6 figures and beyond. Guys, there's people who work at Anthropic right now who are making 500K a year with stock options that are worth millions of dollars. There's people like that. And they're making that money because they're in a very lucrative industry. And tech is a very lucrative industry. And there's a lot of trends right now with tech, especially with artificial intelligence. And this is a very good boom for people who want to who want to get into the networking field. And who want to become network engineers, technicians, admins, all these positions, because there's tons of data centers. They have a bunch of cables, or a bunch of wires, a bunch of devices that all have to talk to each other. Someone has to manage those devices. Someone has to configure them, troubleshoot them, touch the equipment, rack and stack, do all that stuff. The problem is people aren't willing to put in the work. They're willing to wait, complain, say it's hard, it's difficult. I'm telling you, if you're going to have that mindset, do something else. Because there is tech comes with rejection, and it comes with rejection because it's a field that's very lucrative and people actually want to get into. The fields that people want to get into, the ones that have high competition, is mainly because it's a field that people want to get into, right? People don't like being nurses. Because you have to like do a lot of weird stuff with. I mean, not to say it's weird, but like you have to handle patients. Sometimes it's like a headache. You have to deal with a lot of stress. You're seeing a lot of crazy stuff. That's why some people don't want to be nurses. Tech, you get to potentially work at home. You could work at an office. You work usually a 9-to-5 schedule, sometimes even less. And you work. You can keep learning, update your skills, and go into higher level positions. The stress level is not even that high compared to other roles. It's a phenomenal field to work in. Tech is a phenomenal opportunity, especially in the field of networking. And that's how these students are able to land positions, is because they are dealing with the pain, the heartache that it takes to get into it. Like, for the example, this student who got a job offer at Amazon, his name is Emmanuel. You could see him right here. He put in the work, right? He put in the work, and you can see the comment section of people sharing all the support and everything. But the thing is, The thing is, when it comes to putting in the work, it takes effort, it takes responsibility, it takes character, it's going to be a whole thing to build yourself up to get to that point. But by the time you build yourself up to that point, you're going to be in a phenomenal position. So that is how I can see yourself getting in, is by dealing with the pain that you're going to deal with no matter what. And that's what I realized about getting into the field of networking, especially right now. It's about getting the skills, getting mentorship, applying yourself, failing. Failing is part of it. I've never seen someone get into tech and not fail. I've never seen someone get into tech and had zero failure. Everything was handed to them. Maybe nepotism can help them if they have a father who's a CEO of a tech company. They just give them the job offer. Cool. But if that's you're watching this video because that's definitely not you, right? So you need to actually put yourself in advantageous positions, seeking guidance, seeking help, putting in work. And if you can put all that together, you're going to put yourself in a phenomenal position, an absolutely phenomenal position to succeed in 2026, in 2027, and beyond. The problem with a lot of people is they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to seek mentorship. And you're watching this video right now because you want help with something. I get it. Getting into tech is very difficult. It's a very difficult position to get into, especially network engineering or cybersecurity, whatever. It's difficult because you understand there's a mountain of pain that you're going to have to get into. You're going to have to go through an interview. You have to get skills, but take everything one step at a time, right? I was watching a video from a podcast from a guy named Chris Williamson, and he was saying whenever you have a big, and I'm paraphrasing him, whenever you're trying to get to somewhere far, or whenever you're trying to do something that's grandiose and big, like getting a job in tech, focus on what is the next actionable step that you can take right now. For example, if you're starting from zero, the next actionable step, right, is to get up, open your computer, and go on Google or ChatGPT and search something up. That's the first actionable step, right? And then after that, then you want to get the skills. Then you want to go on the packet tracer. Like take it piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. If you can do that, you're going to put yourself in a very phenomenal position to succeed in this market. And that is just my recommendation to a lot of people right now, especially in today's market. You're going to have to be different. You're going to have to be different from everyone else if you're willing to compete with other people. And if you're trying to do this the right way, if you're trying to get into tech the right way, the best way to do it is to get the skills, get the mentorship, get the guidance, focus on practicing interviews, focusing on your social skills, and failing a lot, failing more, and failing more. And if you can do that, you put all that together, you're going to put yourself in a very phenomenal position to land a role. And that is how you break into tech in today's market. So that's the point of the video. If you guys are interested in breaking into tech, obviously this program that I have here is basically to help people. If you have zero experience, some experience in tech, and you just want to get into the field of networking, this is a phenomenal program. We have a lot of successful students. You could check through this channel, watch a couple of my videos on how it works. There's a link in my description as well if you're interested. We have a free training on how to use it, on how it goes. But if you guys like the video, like, say, give it a like, thumbs up. But I want to say thank you guys so much. Take this tech journey seriously, and let's end this year right.